Welcome to Invictus Porsche. Today you're joined here with me to review a Porsche Cayman, but the topic is why you should consider a high mileage 987 Generation 1 Cayman. This here with us is a 5-speed manual Cayman, and to many of us they are actually very good cars, and that's because it's got a 2.7 engine as opposed to the larger engine that you find on the Cayman S, because a lot of us believe and think that the lower engine cars don't suffer from scoring and from the same issues that the larger engine suffers from. But we'll jump right into the main topic here, and the main topic is why one should consider a high mileage Cayman 987 Gen 1. And the simple reason is a high mileage Cayman such as this will be very well run in by the previous owner. That's one. Number two, from a maintenance point of view, the owner would do whatever work that's required on the vehicle, because as he's racking up the miles, he knows that he's getting a good return on investment or in terms of what he's put on the vehicle. Therefore, if anything gets flagged up, the chances of the owner addressing work is very, very high. Now, whereas a car that doesn't do the miles, the idea that a lot of us or a lot of Porsche owners would have is, well, my car's only done 1,000 miles this year, or my car's only done 500 miles in the past 2 years. And some people do drive their cars very little, or you know, it's done 2,000 or 3,000 miles. It doesn't need a service. It doesn't need the clamps doing. You know, the car being parked, you start to have the tires cracking, the discs corroding, the pads corroding. You know, all these small little issues that you develop with a car, especially when it's parked. You begin to ignore it because you think, well, hang on a second, I'm not doing the miles. Why should I be doing these things? I'll leave it till later. And above all, and this is the big thing, you know, these cars are just like any other organism. They need to breathe, they need to live. So a still car is very bad for the engine, for the seals, and you know, for everything mechanically involved, because you know the saying, still water becomes moldy, and the same principle applies to cars. And now the mileage on this one is actually 106,000 miles. It's just creeping to approximately 15 years. And so on average, this vehicle would have just done 7,000 miles. The UK average on a car is between 8 to 10,000 miles. So this is well below the average. But in the Porsche owner's world, a lot of us assume that a high mileage Porsche is a bad investment or a bad car to buy. It's quite the opposite. And now talking about service history and, you know, talking about everything that I've just mentioned, and you know, this car came in today and it was just a bit of a surprise. I mean, in total, this had 7 services. You know, from brand new, it had 3 owners. The current owner has owned the car for the past 13 years. So you can see already that what I've just mentioned from a first impression perspective, that it's been very well maintained, very well looked after, and taken good care. So these are just some of the things. Okay, well, some of you would ask, well, a higher mileage Porsche would have more wear on the inside or more wear on the outside. From a mechanical perspective, the more wear on the outside would have been mechanically addressed, because as you reach certain milestones, one would go out or be recommended by an OPC or by a Porsche specialist to say, address this, address that, address that. But on the interior, a person would have gone into the car and out of the car more than they would have done on a lower mileage car. They would have had more wear on the inside because you're sitting on the inside a lot more. But the one thing you've got to remember is that these cabin spaces in all the Porsche ranges are very, very well designed. I mean, on the Cayman, literally you take it from the end of the dash, or even from where the plastic trimming outside is, all the way to the back. Everything is where it should be. Everything is tight. Everything is well made. This is a leather interior. It could do with a good leather reconditioning of the seats to bring the color back, but that is something that wouldn't cost more than 100 to 200 pounds. So all in all, don't be put off by high mileage. Consider it as something of a good thing, because if it has done those 100k or 90k plus miles, You don't have to worry about putting miles on your car. You don't have to worry about getting in and out of your car and being worried that you're causing it, wear, because they are designed to take wear. They're designed to be used. They're designed to be a daily comfortable car. Now, I want to continue on the interior on this, and it's got a beautiful sport steering wheel, standard CD radio. This is fabric, very well built dash here. You get loads of space in the rear from a practicality perspective, and loads of space at the front from a practicality perspective. So should one want, they can actually cover some beautiful journeys, either to camping, to skiing, wherever it may be. So this is my take on the interior. But now we'll move on and we'll talk about the heritage. We'll talk about the heritage of Cayman. The heritage of a Cayman actually predates the heritage of a 911, and that's because this is based on a Porsche 550. And well, it's actually inspired, I wouldn't say based, because they have a few things that resemble a 550. And one of them being is this has a monocoque chassis. So does a 550. What I mean by a monocoque chassis is that the shell of the car will also contribute towards how strong the chassis is, and it benefits the chassis via a couple of things. It gives the car added flexural strength and also added torsional rigidity. We'll ask, why consider buying a Porsche from Invictus? Well, the simple reason is every single one of our vehicle goes through 111-point pre-delivery, or otherwise known as a pre-purchase inspection. So whether it's something minor or major, it will get picked up on that report, and all critical items will get addressed. That's number one. Number two, all of these Gen 1s, whether they're 997 or the 987 Cayman or a Boxster, they all go through a bore scope inspection and an over rev report. So there is a lot of information that is provided to you as a standard part and parcel of purchasing a Porsche from us, whereas 99.9% of the other car dealership, especially specializing in Porsches, wouldn't provide that as part and parcel of the experience of buying a Porsche. This is in a grey metallic color. The alloys are basically the 997 turbo alloys. At the back, it's got a rear wiper delete option. The side mirrors are all heated and electrically adjustable mirrors. Us are wondering, how does it actually drive like? Well, it certainly doesn't drive like sitting behind a car in a trailer. And the only way to know how it will drive like is, let's jump into it and take it up for a spin. Well, it drives marvelous, handles really well. As you could see, the back didn't spin a tiny bit. We're coming into a pretty deep, I would say a good 20-degree turn. Nothing drives like this. Absolutely amazing, especially on roads like this. Phenomenal. And this is a feeling that you don't get in a 911, simple as. And it's a feeling you don't get in many other cars. Because the Cayman is designed to be, especially the 987 Caymans, they're designed to be that perfect driver-focused car. That car that gives you a bag of fun, because this is what it's about. And let's hear it roar. He's talking about the rain is very horrible. We see how hard we have to work to make content like this for you. If you own a Porsche and some of you don't own a Porsche, and if you do like our content, please go out and enjoy your car. It is so much fun to get out there and have a bit of fun in your car. You know, don't leave it in your garage, don't leave it on your driveway. Come on, get out and do something, and don't let the weather put you off, because I think every day is a blessed day and every day is a great day, because we should be very glad to be doing well and to be alive and to be kind of looking at, you know, content and cars and practicing our hobby. But I want to finish on a point. This being a 5-speed manual is no slouch. It is a Cayman and it is a very fast one. But a good car needs a good driver. So should you want some practice lessons, you know, go out to the Porsche Silverstone Experience Day, and they do brilliant work by teaching you how to use your car or how to drive your car, and they've got a couple of other demo cars which you could drive. On the other hand side, should you want to come and have a coffee with us, you're welcome. We've got a brilliant coffee machine donated by a customer. We'll serve you coffee and come and enjoy these roads. Thank you.